AEW Fight for the Fallen is going to be live from Charlotte, Trevor, North Carolina. It's going to be great. We know that they ran the Bojangles Arena for a big show right before COVID. That was that was a show where Cody had that spot off the steel cage. It was amazing. The crowd is electric. That is an AEW territory. Just general impressions of the card and of some of the build to this and just the product right now.
So, I mean, the product, as we know, is, of course, every promotion has its issues. And, of course, AEW has a few issues. But as far as the product is concerned, it's damn near flawless at this point. They're doing what they need to do. They're listening to their fans. They're putting butts in their seats. They're selling out shows. They're almost flawless. As far as the card is concerned, I love how, and we've mentioned this before, I love how AEW puts tag team matches center stage. You know what I mean? I love how they love their tag teams. Like, it's like 4 or 5 different tag team events on this one card. Like, in the big 10-man tag at the end. Oh my God, can't wait for it. It's a stack card. It's a complete stack card. And again, reaching out to another promotion, my man, motherfucking Nick Gage, wrestling Jericho. I think that's going to be a great match, personally. I can't wait to see that match, honestly.
I know you're excited about that match, so let's just talk about it right off the bat. Chris Jericho, in his second trial of Jericho, is going to be facing Nick freaking Gage, as MJF said on Dynamite last week. It's going to be a no DQ match, no rules, no holds barred. We know that Nick Gage is coming off a big match at GCW Homecoming, and he's going to be really mad, but Chris Jericho had a surprise for him. He's going to be bringing back the Painmaker, the gimmick he used when he first debuted in New Japan for his feud with Kenny Omega. He's got his little eye paint and the hat, and he's looking really scary. But the Painmaker, Chris Jericho versus Nick Gage. Trevor, what do you think about this match? Who should win and who's going to win?
So, okay, again, like we've talked about Jericho. We talked about how he's one of those guys who can help carry a match, and most people that wrestle against Jericho are in great hands because they're going to have a great match. Look what he's done for Orange Cassidy. Look what he's done for even Jungle Boy, like other guys like that. They have great matches with Chris Jericho because Chris Jericho is one of the GOATs. He is. But also Nick Gage, like a lot of people don't talk about his in-ring ability because they don't really see it. He has it. He does. And his ability to carry matches is just as good. Like, I mean, look, he made not taking anything from Matt Cardona because I like Matt Cardona. But that match, which we'll talk about later, amazing. Even people that hated him started loving that match, cheering for him at some point. So he has the ability to put on 5-star matches as well. I think it's going to be an amazing match. It's going to be bloody. It's going to be violent. I mean, you have Nick Gage. It's got to be violent. I think Jericho will win. Because honestly, I think that's what they're gearing up for a final clash between MJF and Chris Jericho.
MJF and Nick Gage?
I was going to say Nick Gage. That'll be fun to watch.
Oh my God, MJF would never work with Nick Gage. Like,
hell no. Nick Gage would.
Face is too pretty to work with Nick Gage.
I'm actually surprised Jericho is working with Nick Gage, to be honest with you.
Oh, dude, Jericho probably thinks he's a carny. But I feel like Nick Gage would also have, like, enough respect for Jericho not to mess with him. Because Jericho's he's Chris freaking Jericho.
I mean, he's a legend. I think he would have respect. Guy like MJF, and I think he probably trying to cut him off backs.
Yeah. Well, but I just want to share some thoughts. Yeah, so I think obviously Jericho is going to win. He should win. This is the trial of Jericho leading up to the match with him and MJF. But for me, it's one of these things where I'm excited to not just have Nick Gage versus Jericho. That's going to be a good match. It's going to be bloody, like you said. It's going to be hardcore. It's going to be fun to watch, as JBL would say. But the thing that I'm most excited for is the fact that Nick Gage is going to finally get this big spotlight.
Yeah.
On a major wrestling promotion in front of in front of a big crowd, in front of a television crowd of at least 1 million people. Like, this is literally the biggest show that Nick Gage has ever done. And really quickly, I want to bring it up because I know you talked about it. This really has been the best year for Nick Gage as far as name recognition, as far as getting out there, getting the matches, getting the credibility as a performer. And it's a testament to him. It's also, I think, a testament to the people at Dark Side of the Ring who were able to highlight him in such a way that it made him over and actually got to the point where people learned about him. And now people are clamoring for Nick Gage versus Chris Jericho, which a year ago was unimaginable.
Did you hear the pop he got when he was introduced?
Oh, it's crazy. It was crazy.
It was ridiculous. Like, it's one of those feel-good situations, you know what I mean? Like, when you think about Nick Gage, yeah, Nick did a lot of wrong, but he also has done a lot of good for it as well. Like, but I mean, when he had going to jail, you know, and losing his brother, like, he had all those hardships, and then he had a buddy who started a wrestling promotion who had all intent and purposes of making him a star. And when he started this promotion, he had Nick in mind. And along with him and Nick, they brought people in, like, without Dark Side of the Ring's help and the push that Nick got this year, you don't see Matt Cardona versus Nick Gage. You don't see Nick Gage versus Chris Jericho. I mean, I'm not going to talk about it too much more, but I mean, this is awesome. This is big for a number of reasons, not just because I want to see this match, but just because, I mean, you don't see stuff like this happen often.
Agreed. Kids, stay away from this match.
Exactly.
Let's continue down this card. Next match, we're going to talk about Lance Archer defending his IWGP U.S. Heavyweight Championship, against Hikuleo, who is the son of Haku. Lance Archer, most notably just off of this big win against Jon Moxley, just winning the U.S. Heavyweight Championship in a Texas death match last week on Dynamite. So he's got a little bit of some bumps and bruises, but he's fighting through it. Hikuleo, new guy on the scene really in AEW, but if you watch what he's done on the indies a little bit and here and there, he's pretty good. He looks the part, he fits the part. And he's Haku's son. Who am I to argue with that? But Trevor, what do you think about this match? For the third week in a row, the IWGP U.S. Heavyweight Championship is being defended on AEW TV, and it's Lance Archer versus Hikuleo. What do you think?
That's just crazy to even say. Like, could you imagine like saying that like 5 years ago? Like the New Japan Championship is being defended on America's soil 3 times in a row on national TV. That's something you don't hear of. Like, it's awesome. It's amazing. And it's great for wrestling. This is going to be a great match. Hikuleo is absolutely amazing. Kids, if you have not seen him, check him out. He is absolutely his father's son. Absolutely.
Oh, that's terrifying for Lance Archer.
Oh, it's horrible for Lance Archer. And Lance Archer's had a great week. I mean, and he's having a bump up in his career. I mean, and let's talk about how much of a stand-up guy Jon Moxley is for like putting him over like that. That was amazing, wasn't it? That was a great match to watch.
Oh, yeah, and him handing him the IWGP U.S. Heavyweight Championship at the end was an amazing class act.
Right.
And it was deserving. It was deserving. Those two went out there, had a hell of a match.
I can't wait to see this.
No matter how much Dave Meltzer shat on it.
Yeah, Dave, I love you, but God damn it. But no, honestly, Lance Archer wins this match.
Yeah, Lance Archer wins, but man, again, Haku being backstage, who God knows what's going to happen. If Haku comes out, all bets are off. Haku versus Jake Roberts in 2021. Who would have thought? But yeah, I also have Lance Archer winning this matchup. It's going to be fun to see, though. Christian Cage and the Jurassic Express. That is Christian Cage, Jungle Boy, and Luchasaurus. Not Marko Stunt, unfortunately. When was the last time Marko Stunt had a match, by the way?
Over the weekend, GCW.
There you go. But all right, so yeah, Christian Cage, Jungle Boy, and Luchasaurus are going to be taking on the Hardy Family Office, made up of Angelico and and Private Party, with Matt Hardy at ringside because he's too scared to wrestle Christian again. So I like the way that they've kind of built this up a little bit. It's intertwining two stories recently. One is obviously the story of Christian Gage versus the Hardy family and Matt Hardy specifically. But they've also intertwined a little bit of the Jungle Boy and Christian Cage. Not so much a feud, but they kind of hinted towards it,
Yeah.
Those of you who don't know, Jungle Boy last eliminated Christian Cage at the Double or Nothing Casino Battle Royale. And it's been weird. I still remember last week when Christian Cage got lifted up on Luchasaurus' shoulders, there's Jungle Boy there, and he gave him a little bit of a weird look. And if you look the promos from the week after, again, they were doing a backstage promo, and Jungle Boy, again, just gave Christian a little bit of a weird look. So it could be me reading too much into it, but I think we could be seeing a build-up potentially into a match between Christian Cage and Jungle Boy, which would love it because they had amazing chemistry and it showed at Double or Nothing. But what do you think about the build up to this match, and what do you think about the eventual outcome?
There is a bit of a side story going on with that with that main story, and I totally agree. Like, I mean, at first they built it like it was gonna be a rivalry between those two, and then I like the camaraderie that they've given in midst of all the chaos. But again, it's one of those things you kind of see some jealousy going on. Like, hey, why? That's my friend. Why are you doing that? Like, hey, I'm on to you. Like, it's kind of something like that, and I like it. If they do it right, which AEW has been doing a lot of things correctly, they do it right. It could be a hell of a feud, and it actually could be hints to what you were talking about a few months ago, with Luchasaurus turning his back on Jungle Boy. I mean,
hashtag pay me Tony Khan.
I mean, let's be honest. Christian has had a track record of turning his back on people.
That's true.
The Un-Americans,
Edge.
Let's just be honest. But yeah, this is gonna be. I think this is gonna be a good match. I'm gonna say the Hardy family wins this.
I say Hardy family wins it too. I think we're on the same page on that one. I think like it. There's only so many times your team can job and look stupid. All right, and the Hardy family office have looked pretty freaking stupid over the past year. Also, I'm a big fan of Angelico. I think he needs to be used more. Love him. Like the fact that he's been used in this match. Yeah. I want Angelico to get a victory. So going with the Hardy family could very well possibly be wrong here. Trevor, we love the tag team matches, and we got two more tag team matches to talk about. Santana and Ortiz, along with Konnan, who is going to be accompanying them to the ring, are going to be taking on FTR, that is Cash Wheeler, and Dax Harwood, who are all going to be accompanied to the ring by Tully Blanchard. There's been a lot of build up to this match. You already have the built-in feud of the Inner Circle versus the Pinnacle, but on top of that, you have this feud of Konnan and Tully Blanchard when FTR attacked Konnan from behind and they pile drove him and nearly broke his neck. And Konnan was Santana and Ortiz's longtime manager when they were in LAX, so there's like roots there. There's just so much built up storylines. I just love it. But there's a lot of hate here, and anytime you get to see Konnan on TV is amazing. He cut a promo with Tully Blanchard. I thought that was one of the best promo segments I've seen even in AEW in a while.
Yeah,
so
it was. That was a pretty good one.
What do you think about this match, the build-up, and what's going to happen?
I think it's another well put together match. Again, tag team, which according to someone, tag teams don't sell well. Well, I guess you're wrong, aren't you?
Goddamn, pal, they don't.
But yeah, I mean, dude, it's a great match. You have two amazing tag teams. FTR, amazing chemistry. And the funny thing is, I've always said, even when they were in WWE, they reminded me of the Brand Busters. They reminded me of Arn Anderson and Ole Anderson, and they still do. And I've said that for a long time, and I will still say that. But you also have the Santana Ortiz, which again, great tag team. I love them in LAX. I think it's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be hard hitting. This one is kind of a toss up to me, but I'm gonna go with Santana and Ortiz.
I think so too, and I think here's the thing. I would say FTR probably should win,
Yeah.
along with some shenanigans maybe. But I think Santana and Ortiz are going to win, and I don't have a problem with it because AEW's been on this kind of like this turn where they're sending the crowd home happy kind of every night, and they're getting baby faces over. And it's kind of worked, and it's nice to see, instead of this 50-50 booking that we're used to.
Right.
But, I'm rooting for Santana Ortiz, so I'll go with them, yeah. Moving on to our final tag team match, what I hope is going to be the main event because it deserves to be. It's going to be a 10-man elimination tag team match, and the stipulation is if Hangman Adam Page and the Dark Order win, they will receive a future match at Kenny Omega's AEW World Championship, and the Young Bucks will have to put the tag team titles on the line against the Dark Order, or two members of the Dark Order. And if Hangman and the Dark Order lose, they cannot challenge for any of those belts, even though Hangman Adam Page currently ranked number 1 in the AEW Championship rankings. It's going to be the Elite, Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, the Good Brothers, versus Hangman Adam Page, Evil Uno, Stu Grayson, John Silver, and Alex Reynolds. No Colt Cabana. No Boom Boom. But, Trevor, what do you think about this? Looks like we're about to just get to the culmination of 2 years of build in this feud between Hangman and Omega. But what do you think about the build up to this specific match, the way it happened, the promos that made it up, and what's going to happen on Wednesday night?
So I feel that the build up to this match was cool, but I feel like it should have been dragged out a little longer. Not super long, but maybe just one more week, honestly. But other than that, I think it's perfect. I thought it was kind of comical at first how the Dark Order came out and was like, hey, we have a friend that deserves the shot at that belt. I thought that was funny, but also kind of cool because when you think of the story that they've been trying to tell, it shows Hangman that he actually has family. You know what I mean? That he actually has friends. He has friends, and it's kind of cool and corny and cheesy all at the same time, but it's I think it's good for wrestling. It's good TV, and the build up for it is helping it, but it also could have been one of those situations that could have been nurtured just a little bit more and evolved a little differently. But I'm excited for it. I am excited for it.
Yeah, so am I. I mean, look, Hangman Adam Page, for the longest time, he's been isolated from everyone, and he's finally fighting back against those same people who isolated him, who left him friendless, who kind of abandoned him along the way in the Elite. So I think this is like the culmination to that. Now, I think there might be a chance, Trevor, that we might get some shenanigans here. And it might be a situation where, I don't know, like they lose the match, but then Hangman still ends up challenging for the belt. I don't know how that's going to work out. I don't know how that would work out. And I think, honestly, even thinking about that, I feel like that's that WWE type of booking that's kind of jaded me. Yeah. I don't think AEW do that. They're very straightforward with that kind of stuff.
They normally are, but for some reason, I have the same feeling that Dark Order and Adam Page are going to lose this match too. Like, for some reason, I have a feeling that they're going to lose this match, and I don't really know why. I feel that way.
You think maybe it's because it hasn't been built up for a long time? I feel like there has been. Here's the thing: the story, if you follow it, of Hangman Adam Page over the past 2 years has been great. Yeah. But that's if you follow it. There were times where there was a little bit of detachment, I think, from that storyline. A little bit of like, people were like, you didn't really notice some things, or some things weren't really prominent when they were delivered, or it's all been kind of under the surface. If you notice it over time, you'll know the whole story. But for people who are just tuning in, it might be more difficult to understand. Maybe that's why. Maybe there's a little bit of a disconnect there, and that's why you don't truly believe in Hangman Adam Page. Because I kind of feel a similar way. It doesn't help that the Dark Order, since the passing of Brody Lee, have also just kind of been a comedy act, if we're being real. A lovely comedy act, but a comedy act nonetheless.
Oh, I enjoy seeing them on TV, definitely, but a comedy act. Absolutely.
Yeah. But, the more I think about it, the more I want to go with the Elite, but I'm going with Page and the Dark Order. They have to set the match up. They have to do it at some point. Better now. Build it up for All Out. Let's go. I'm ready. I'm ready for this. I'm ready for an August of Page. That's what I want. An
'Cause
August
I
of
feel
Page.
like if they do set it up right. So when is Omega challenger defending his AAA belt?
It's like August 18th, I believe, at Triple Mania, something
So
like that.
I almost feel, and maybe this is just me, but I almost feel if you have Adam Page challenge for the belt, you have to give it to him. You know what I mean?
Oh, he's going to win.
Yeah,
If he
has
doesn't,
to.
Chicago
He has
will
to.
riot. Chicago will riot.
And that's kind of how where I'm at. Like, are they ready to drop the belt collector gimmick, or or they're gonna do more with it, or?
Well, I mean, I think the thing is Omega's ready to drop it because he's been wrestling injured for the past few months at this point.
Well, he
And I
has.
think
Definitely
he's getting
has.
to the point where I think he's going to start to drop these belts at some point. I think it's going to be fairly soon. And the first step in that is going to be against Hangman Adam Page. At All Out, the story writes itself.
Right. I don't think he's gonna drop the AAA belt.
No, I don't think yet. Not yet. But
No.
we'll see. Thanks for watching this video from Real Take Sports Talk. Remember to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. Also, remember to check out our live show every single Thursday at 8 p.m. right here on the YouTube channel. And remember, keep it real.